Add projection modifier to the selection. From the modifier settings, press Pick List. Then pick the high resolution rim and bolt. Push the cage by 3 mm. If we baked the current scene, the complete map will have pink color. It's better to bake the textures in their final color or the grayscale. In order to minimize further image editing after the bake, select the high-resolution objects, then assign a new standard material to them, as shown. Pick light gray for the diffuse. Changing the specular from white to gray is not necessary. However, the specular level value is important, as we discussed in the previous series. 40 is the value I usually use for the specular level. This will give the rim the polished alloy appearance, and hence will the baked complete map. Select the low resolution rim and continue the baking process. We shall bake the diffuse and the specular maps. We will not need the normal map for this project. As you might notice, the light and shadows are not perfectly distributed over the map. To fix that, we need to add an omni light to the scene. Once we add a new light to the scene, the default scene lights will be automatically disabled. Add the omni light at -40 cm distance from the rim. From the light settings, set the shadow density to 0. Press Render to bake the required maps. Collapse the projection modifier. After baking the required maps, the projection modifier will create and assign a baked shader to the low-resolution objects. However, the assigned material look is so messy, and in order to fix that, we need to properly align the UVs to match the baked maps. Add Unwrap UVW modifier to the low-resolution rim. The following process is called unwrapping. However, there will be no manipulation of the current UVs, except for proper alignment to match the texture. The easiest way to do that is to overlap similar UV clusters by using the Snap tool, combined with the Move tool inside the UVW editor. Collapse the Unwrap UVW modifier. Now, let's edit the baked maps. First, we need to reduce the map size. Since we baked these maps with high resolution, more than the one we intend to use. This is a commonly known procedure. And the reason for that is to reduce the pixelation effect on the baked maps. Inside Photoshop, reduce the complete map size to 512 by 512 pixels. This is the standard size for the first level, diffuse, or complete map. Replace these black lines with gray that match the surrounding. As you may notice, Having the rim template is very useful during the image editing process. Create as much correction layers as you want during the edit. And you can use any sets of tools you are familiar with. The final step is to add a background to the texture. Since we will not need transparency or alpha channel in the rim's maps, the specular map background should be black. However, you can use gray if you wish to. The standard specular map size should be 256 by 256 pixel. Finally, add small switches to each map. Usually, these switches are in black and gray. Save the new edited maps in PNG, as they are inside the project folder. Now, let's finalize the texturing process for this level. The baked shader, created by the projection modifier, has a shell node and the original color material. We will not need this shader, so I am going to delete the shell node and the original material. Then, I am going to assign the baked material to the rim and its components. Set the specular level to 40 and the diffuse to light gray. Dark areas that will not have diffuse or specular should be in black. Black on both the diffuse and the specular map will render any UVs complete dark. Areas such as the bolt's background should be in black, with no specular. In the next chapter, we will create the lower levels of details.